All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we have next is Professor David Denton, who's on the board of directors for the JFK Assassination Conference, is going to give an award to a very deserving individual. And if you would give a warm welcome to Professor, I'm promoting everybody, Professor David Denton.
Thank you. Thank you, Don. Just briefly, Dr. Manick talked about the Milgram thing. I actually use that a lot in my class. Watch the video of the Milgram experiment and really look at how folks can be led down the path of destruction in terms of obedience. So just want to follow that up with real quick. We have a Lifetime Achievement Award given by the JFK Historical Group. And the JFK Historical Group is a very informal group of folks who interested in this cause and hold conferences. And we appreciate the chance to do this. And I can't think of anybody better qualified for this award. This gentleman, like many of us here, have dedicated his life to justice, truth, exposing the national security state. And he fits that bill to a T. He's one of the few publishers to have the courage to publish, quote unquote, conspiracy books, although I like to say the facts of conspiracy. Obviously, he published Me and Lee. And he's also a dedicated researcher. He always finds a way to get to all these conferences, including the ones that I've had. And he's always there for us. And he's just a genuine, nice guy. And I called him my friend. And so if you would, Kris Millegan, and I will give him his traditional bow. Here we go. And Kris, good luck at getting this award home.
Golly Wally Doodle.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lord have mercy. And thank you, Judith Very Baker. And if I might want to say again, you know, it's not easy being Judith Very Baker, you know, so, you know, it's been very interesting, the journey that I've been on. My father told me some stuff I didn't understand many years ago. And it led me here, led me lots of places. And I became a publisher. I wasn't planning on becoming a publisher. A friend, I was running a email list about CIA drugs, and a friend of mine, Daniel Hopsicker, was on there, and he kept saying, I've got a book in New York, and it's just circling New York. It's with an agent. Nobody's going to publish it. It's been there for 2 years. And I heard that a bunch, and I finally said, okay, Daniel, I've got a computer on my desk. They tell me I can make a book. Come on out. So we made Barry and the Boys, about Barry Seal. And then a good friend of mine, actually not a doctor, Professor Sutton, his book, America's Secret Establishment, An Introduction to the Order of Skull and Bones. He called me, he says, it's going out of print. I says, Anthony, that can't happen. So I went out and borrowed $5,000 and started a publishing company. And now I'm more in debt than I ever thought I could be. But it's been very interesting because basically all of a sudden there was a bunch of books circling New York, and these people started throwing them at me, sending them to me, and you know, started publishing them, and it's just been very, very interesting. And you know, a publisher, I call it a P position. Okay, you have publishers, you have presidents, you have producers and stuff, and it's kind of a power. You I don't think about it much, but I guess I have some power. I don't know what it is, you know, Lord have mercy. But so, one thing I'm looking to do is to take TRINE Day because, you know, publishing is a very important, books are very important. Books are very, very important. And, you know, I wish there was just one book. Okay, all you had to do was read one book and it solves it all. And people tell me, well, the Bible, you know, that's more, but you know, the Bible ain't one book. The Bible's a whole bunch of books, you know. So really, there, you know, I wish there was just one book we could all read and say, oh, well, Lord, I understand it all. You know, let's get on with the program and do what we got to do, you know, but that's not how it is. So we, you know, I like books. I learn things from, and, you know, I'm going to just tell my basic theory of the JFK assassination. It was some people didn't wake up in like 62 and say, hey, we're going to kill the president. No, if you look at it really hard, you find ducks put in a row before JFK was even elected. Okay? Because the main thing about the JFK assassination is it was a psychological hit on the American people and a quote unquote magical act. When you kill the king on Bloody Elm Street in a ritual kill zone, Dilly Plaza, it is a magical act. You killed the king. You took his power. Everybody knew they did it. At happy hour, they're clinking their glasses. You know the psychological effect that that has on this country. Okay, and the JFK assassination is a linchpin in these guys from the shadows in their power control. Okay, because I mean, did Mr. Manic just completely destroy what they've been telling us about the autopsy and stuff? I mean, how many, and there's plenty of people that can destroy a whole bunch of the official story, okay? But officially, right now, still, Lee Harvey Oswald killed Kennedy. The CIA has nothing to do with drugs, you know? So, and if they can get us, because we live in very interesting times, okay? There's a paradigm shift happening, okay? You know, and when we have these paradigm shifts, there's big things that happen, and it's very hard for an organization to go through a paradigm shift and land on the other side and on their feet, okay? And the way they're trying to do that with us is to make us accept as a country, as a people, as a world, that Lee Harvey Oswald shot JFK, okay? Because if we will believe that JFK was killed by Lee Harvey Oswald, what else won't they be able to put over on us, okay? And it is one of the linchpins. They've got to shove that down our throat, okay? It has to be part of the canon of our life for them to continue control. So I'm very hopeful for the future. I really think that, you know, I talk a lot to school teachers and professors. And I ask them, one of the main questions I ask them is, how are those kids that you're talking to? What are they, you know? And they all tell me, they say, you know, they say, well, some of those kids are in a fetal position, okay? Because it's very hard dealing with what we have to deal with as people and accept all the stuff that they tell us, okay? But they also tell me that these kids are, you know, they're more open-minded. They're more into looking, you know, and I really think that, you know, change has to happen, right? I mean, change has to happen. We can't continue having a government that just lies to us and stuff. We need to get rid of the corruption. So my basic thing is that, again, it was a, we have sovereign countries, okay? But above these sovereign countries is a thing I call the secret societal system, okay? Where they're able to reach down, because, people say, well, it was a CIA hit. Well, I don't think there was official CIA papers on it, okay? And, there's obvious, the Secret Service, there was obviously people from the Secret Service involved. And there was, so was it a Secret Service hit? No, it was the secret societal hit where they're able to come down in and play with these different things. Your main crew, okay, and comes from a guy by the name of Trent Parker. He was naval intelligence, and they were shadowing Hoover, and they got a phone conversation. And on that phone conversation, you had Hoover and Johnson. They're your low man on the totem pole. But they're so blackmailable. They're in your pocket. You can make them do whatever you want them to do. Okay. Then you have Dulles, Allen Dulles. He's a consigliere. Okay. And above him, you have George H.W. Bush and Nelson Rockefeller. And then to the side, you have David Rockefeller and Averell Harriman, a member of the Order of Skull and Bones. Because that's what they were trying to do. They were controlling quite a bit of everything. Okay, where did Eisenhower come from? Well, Prescott Bush. Prescott Bush went over to SHAEF headquarters and said, hey, Ike, we want to know, are you a Democrat or Republican? Ike said, I'm a Republican. I thought you guys knew that. Okay, so then they put him in because their main guy they were running was Robert Taft, but he was kind of boring. But they were doing their, polling and stuff, and they found, Eisenhower would win. It didn't matter if he was green or blue or whatever, he would win. So they backed him and got him in little Mr. Richard Nixon, who was blackmailing the Dulles brothers. And, they created this narrative. So, books. Books are just, very, very powerful. They just, kind of sit there. They don't do anything, just kind of sit there. People pick them up, read them. Books change people's lives. So, like I say, now, TRINE Day, I want to do something with TRINE Day. I want to, first off, putting these books out, you don't make money. Most of my authors can contest to that. If you think you're going to make a book about JFK and not say that Lee Harvey Oswald did it, you don't get talked to by major newspapers. You don't get on television. And it's really a sad thing, but there is a future here. And I'm looking to turn TRINE Day into a co-op where authors are more participatory and some sort of a nonprofit so that people can publish these books, because books are very, very important. And I don't know, I getting old, I'd like to see it, continue on. And so, if people are interested in what I'm talking about, but making a publishing platform for the people, so that these books can get out there, and because I wish that everybody was on the same page, but we aren't. And, when we look at the JFK assassination and these conferences and different things, I've come up with a term I call kooks, spooks, and egos. Okay. So, because, you can go to these conferences and you can find somebody that says this, and you'll find somebody that says the complete opposite. Okay. Because the powers that be would rather, we not know the truth. But we need to continue on to find it. So, like I say, if there's people out there that wish to join with me in TRINE Day and trying to create a publishing house that is able to, do all these different books, and because that's how we change. We change by learning what other people have learned and other things. So, like I say, books are very important. So I'm looking to change something with TRINE Day. So if there's people out there, please contact me. Other than that, golly, Wally, Judith, and all, thank you so much. Well, thank you. America, this country is very dear to my heart. And people and our republic and needs to survive. So just everybody, my good friend Anthony Sutton said, don't think that you yourself are going to bring these people down, but all of us together just doing our thing, and that their evil is going to fall out of their own weight onwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kris Millegan. I'm sure many of you know, and some of you don't, what an important role this man has played in the JFK conference. Without his love, without his support, without his blood, sweat, and tears, he built the foundation for this. And if it wasn't for him, we would not be here. And I'm grateful for all the hard work that he's done behind the scenes, all the things he's done in promoting the ideas that we need to look at, the books. He's not a millionaire. He could have chosen a path that would have made him a wealthy man. He chose a path.
I turned the mob down twice.
He chose a path of what would make a difference in the world, what would make a difference in our lives, to give us the path forward, to be able to look, read, and research ourselves. So Kris, I'm grateful for the work that you've done. I'm grateful to have met you a number of years ago. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to call you my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, please, another warm round of applause for Mr. Kris Millegan.